What's up, brothers? Got a video request from a channel member who wants me to talk about how to know if a woman loves you. So that's what we're going to talk about in tonight's walk. Now, this is kind of an interesting topic because most guys in the manosphere, if they're on the dating coach side, they don't really talk about this. They're kind of, their content is geared towards learning game. So they'll tell you, like, only call a girl when you're trying to fuck or something like that, Only text a girl when you're trying to get your dick sucked. Something of that nature. Then the other side of the manosphere, you got like the red pill guys that think women don't love, or, the MGTOW guys that tell you just to stay away from women altogether. But, I suppose there's a pretty large group of guys out there that are more level-headed and, they want a normal relationship or whatever. But anyways, this subscriber wants to know how to know if a woman loves you. So I'll do my best, to freestyle this one and make a point here. So my best advice to you, if you want to know if a woman loves you, is to ask one question. And, this might sound a little strange, but you're not even going to ask her a question. You're going to ask yourself a question. And, you got to ask yourself, man, because, at some point in your life, at some point you're going to be, you're going to get old, you're going to wear down, you're going to get sick, and, you're not going to be able to do things on your own. You're not even going to be able to wipe your own ass. Right? At some point, if you're lucky enough, if you live long enough, you're going to reach that point in your life. So when you look at your girlfriend and you ask yourself this question, don't ask her the question, ask yourself this question. When I just can't do it anymore, when I'm all broken down, would she wipe my ass? I know it sounds kind of stupid, but you got to think about it, man, because that's real shit. And deep down, you'll know the answer. You will 100% know the answer. If you're in a relationship where you're always walking on eggshells, she's always being indifferent, you're always bending over backwards, trying to chase her approval and whatnot, and it just never seems to work out. Like, you never seem to get her approval. She always wants more, and you just feel like, man, like, if I don't put in tons of effort, this thing ain't gonna work out. This whole relationship depends on me constantly putting effort into this. Well, you have your answer. She's not going to be there for you when you really need her. And I'm halfway joking about wiping your ass, but this loud ass fucking dog. There could be many situations. Would she really be there if you needed her? And I say this because I've seen women, in my family. One of my aunts, her husband got cancer, and he died. But she spent his last few years of his life, like, she literally had to do everything for him. He couldn't take care of himself after a while. And she would wake up every day, she would cry every day, and she would just do her best to take care of him, So I've seen firsthand what a woman can do when she loves a man. But let's be honest, most of these women nowadays are narcissists. They're, a little screwed up in their head, maybe borderline personality disorder, or, maybe they're just shitty people. Not all of them, there's some good ones out there, but a lot of them are shitty people. And, if you're with one of those types, you just got to accept the fact that she probably don't have the capacity to love you, And that's just the way that is. I think loving somebody is the same on both sides. I know a lot of manosphere guys say, well, men and women love each other different. I think men and women bring different things to the table. I don't expect a woman to protect and provide for me. And she probably doesn't expect for me to fucking nurture, you know, and all that shit for her. But, you know, as in terms of like the actual like feeling and how you feel in the relationship, I think it's the same both ways. You know, one time, one of my ex-girlfriends, when we were still having a good relationship, and I would say I loved her, she had to get a surgery. And, it was a surgery on her side. It was a minor surgery, but it was still, you know, surgery hurts. And they took her in, and like when they give you a surgery, they pump you full of gas to like make your insides swollen and bloated, so it's easier for them to like go in there and make the incisions and whatnot. So after it was over with, you know, the doctor said, you're gonna feel real bloated in your midsection and stuff. Like if you need to pass gas, then it would make you feel better. You should pass gas. So, you know, when she went home, she was, you know, complaining. She was really like, she was hurting. So I kept telling her, you know, pass gas. He said it would make you feel better. She was all high on pills and stuff. And she farted a couple times. But to me, it was like weird. Like, it sounds weird, but it was like cute. It was endearing, like a baby taking his first steps or something. I don't know how to put it, but you know, when you care about somebody, I guess when you love somebody, you know, put it like this, it wouldn't have been cute if I didn't love her. You know what I mean? So, well, that's just the way it is. You know, you kind of know if somebody loves you based on little encounters. Like, you can just tell. Because if they don't love you, there's going to be an absence of that. And, you know, if they do love you, that warm behavior is just going to be there. Now, you know, with that being said, like I was saying, you know, in everyday life, you don't have to have a major circumstance come up, like a major tragedy. But you know damn well, if you're just constantly bending over backwards and walking on eggshells and, you know, doing your best to please her, and it seems like she's never satisfied. Let's be honest, man, that's when you're at your best, she's still unsatisfied. What's going to happen when shit hits the fan, when you're at your worst? You know, be honest. And be real with yourself and just accept that she might not have the capacity to love you. It might have nothing to do with you. It might just be her. You know, even after the two of you break up, she's going to be the same way to the next guy. You know, so you're better off leaving her now as soon as possible if that's the case. But, you know, I guess that's my best advice on that, because I know out there in the manosphere, you know, you do have your dating coaches that are telling guys, basically all they're teaching guys is how to get laid. And I'm going to be honest with you, you don't have to teach guys how to get laid. Go to a fucking bar. There's fucking skanks any city in the world. You're going to have a bar in fucking every neighborhood on every block that you can walk into, and there's going to be skanks in there getting drunk, more than willing to suck some dick and get fucked everywhere you go. So you don't really need a dating coach. That's kind of stupid. And then you got, you know, the red pill and the MGTOW guys that are like, let's be honest, I read some of these comment sections and dudes are like, it's like they flat out hate women, it seems like. Reading the comments, I'm not talking about all the content creators, some of them are good and insightful, but I'll read the comments like, man, these motherfuckers really hate women. And it's like, if a content creator or any man that hates women, a heterosexual man that hates women, that's the equivalent to, think of some football players. Like, look at Colin Kaepernick and compare him to Patrick Mahomes, right? They both, and I'm not going to get political or racial or anything, but they both probably grew up with similar lives, right? They're both mixed. They're both NFL quarterbacks, multimillionaires, you know, handsome, tall, successful, rich men. But Colin Kaepernick hates the NFL because he didn't have very good results in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes loves the NFL because he gets great results in the NFL, you know. And these guys that are hating on women, you know, pushing guys away from women, you know, saying things like love doesn't exist and don't settle down, don't start a family or whatever, they're projecting, man. They're coming from their own perspective based on the life that they've lived and the results they've gotten when they've been out dating women, you know. So be careful where you get your advice from. And this is not a knock at any content creators. Like, I'm not trying to do that, but, you know, be real, man. You gotta watch who you take advice from. Misery loves company. You know, what's that? One of the 48 laws of power says something about stay away from the unhappy and unlucky. I mean, that's got a lot of truth to it for sure. But yeah, man, you know, just ask yourself on some real shit. You're old and broken down and you can't make it anymore, would she wipe your ass? And I guarantee you can come up with that answer on your own based on, you know, is she indifferent? Am I walking on eggshells trying to please her, bending over backwards? Nothing's ever good enough. Because a lot of guys out there are trapped in those relationships. Because here's what's going to happen if you do reach a point when you're old and broken down and you need somebody to be there for you and she's not there, you're going to come to the, you know, the rude awakening at the very end of the finish line. You're going to realize all those years you were with her, you were alone the whole time. You know, it's not just now. You've always been alone. Because she was never really present. She was never really there with you. She was never really, you know, a part of that relationship. You were always the one that was carrying it and making it work. It was never her. You know, and that's the unfortunate truth. But hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one off. I'm about out of time. Hope this was somewhat informative, but I got to bounce. Peace out.
To the window, to the wall, until the sweat drops down my balls, until all you bitches crawl. Oh, skeet, skeet, goddamn.